Well, he attack me. But Jaden Chase, they have to make the fans them know what really are going on.
Yeah, man, now, move settings nation. Now, welcome to the channel. Yeah, man, Jaden Chase, and now we're going to bring another reasoning on the topic of current affairs. So, if you're new to the channel, just a pass through. But when you like the reason and, of course, when you like the point of view, well, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon and then put a like on the video. Now, let's get right into the reasoning. Nation, Jamaican citizens took to the streets to voice their opinion and frustration at protocols being implemented by the current administration in power. Now, these calls have not fell on deaf ears, as the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, has been forced to give a statement. And he said, and I quote, "At this stage, the government is not considering implementing mandatory vax. However, probably it will emerge in the near future." But nation, with the fact that the UK has stated that based on their protocols put in place and their programs that they have initiated in their countries, Jamaica and certain other Caribbean countries have been excluded. African presidents have also stated that the continent has also been excluded. Citizens are of course concerned, and think about it. Jamaica has a 1-dose or a 2-dose program. The Biden administration had stated that they planned a mass campaign to administer a 3rd dose to all recipients of either the Pfizer or the Moderna vax starting on September 20th. And of course, experts at the FDA rejected that plan. What is clear, nation, is that changes are being made rapidly on a global scale, of which either the government is not aware or are not sharing the information with the public. And what has happened in these first world countries is that citizens were told that 1 or 2 doses would be fine. Now they have been told of a 3rd. For those who are holders of a vax docket, nation, international vax dockets have 5 slots. So even though Holness promises to share the information with the people, if international administrations have not done this, this might be another empty promise from this government's administration. Now, Holness also stated something, as he said, this might be something implemented in the future. Now, he explained, he said, as the number of persons being inoculated reaches critical threshold, it is going to become inevitable, because that population already, the government is trying to create a divide amongst the people. Be aware. He stated that that population that is already inoculated will start to demand that, hey, we should not be held back in lockdowns and in reduced gatherings. We should be allowed to go to restaurants and to go to parties. This is what was stated by the Prime Minister. And be able to move about, go to churches, because we are already fully inoculated. And he went as far as to state that they might say it is the unvaxxed who should remain under some sort of restrictions. Why? If the unvaxxed would present no threat to those who are already fully inoculated. And at that stage, hospitalizations should be at a very low number, as majority of the population would have been fully vaxxed. Hence, there would be no reason for hospitals to be closed and no extra burden being put on the healthcare system. So why would unvaxxed citizens still need to be restricted? Freedom for all citizens across the world, we are saying. Now, nation, this statement by the government is also untrue. And the government is trying to justify this by saying that in free democratic countries such as America, the United Kingdom, and some countries in Europe, is that the entire world? Has the world now been reduced to the Americas? And not just all of the Americas, because they're not talking about Central America, they're talking about North America, specifically America and Canada. America, Canada, England, and Europe. Is that now the entire world? And let's be frank, America, Canada, Europe, and United Kingdom are just a fraction of the world's population. We have more people living in Africa, more people living in India, and more people living in Asia. What is taking place across the world is a serious situation, but to create a divide amongst people is not the solution. And recently made a statement. Majority of the world's biggest atrocities were committed in the name of the law and were sanctioned by lawmakers. Remember that thing that we go on to Germany? Lawmakers. Remember we go on to Africa? Apartheid, all these things? Lawmakers. Remember when them shackle people Africa and carry them go over to what they considered as the new world, even though them go to these places and saw that there were people already living there. All done saying that this was a part of the law. Lawmakers have never had the greater good in mind when passing legislation. It has always been for the good of the system. First and foremost, the administration stated that first of all, they cannot close the borders. Majority of our CARICOM neighbors who have kept their levels low have only been able to do this because they have closed their borders during critical moments. Jamaica don't choose to close no border. They keep them wide open and we are wonder war go under the yard. Them are letting things. And they have stated that. And some citizens have agreed. Shockingly enough. That if the borders were to be closed, then the economy would collapse and citizens would go hungry. Let me point this out. Majority of the income generated by tourism is not shared with the population. Majority of the tourism sector is owned by the private sector. How the country benefits from tourism is from the people who are employed there, the food and produce that are used at these resorts, and when the tourists venture out and buy craft items. Other than that, just the tax, JPS bid, Water Commission bid, and of course the owners and investors bid. These are the people who receive the largest portion of the income generated by tourism. People who are already filthy rich. I mean, not care if you're rich and continue to get money. You are the you. But don't let the state use that to justify taking the rights of free citizens. Then they talk about the people over Cuba. And then they talk about communism and what take place in China. Not even China has done this. Nation, the government has stated that they will be presenting the information so citizens can make an informed decision. Based on the information already presented, certain citizens have already made up their minds. What people are still concerned about, and this concern is shared by all citizens, even the ones who have already been fully inoculated. Why are your rights being taken? See, the first march, push them back. In North America, when George Wright committed his act out here, in North America, an offense like that would mean that you would be removed from office immediately, and then investigations would follow. Jamaican politicians have always bended and flexed the law to their own will. And some citizens have voiced their concerns and said this situation is actually no different, and the law is being bended to fit the will of a few individuals, not taking into consideration the entire population at large. Talk to me in the comment section. I want to know what I say about this. It's clear the UIC president is correct. And I suspect that if an election was called this week, the current government would be in for a rude awakening. Vice the one called Jaden Chase, the dancer correspondent, the cause representative. I reminding you know, if you're new to the channel, new to the movement, just a pass through, but you like the reason and of course you like the point of view, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon, then the bell icon and put it on all. And this is how you know you'll be notified of all fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here on the platform. The like icon is also in close proximity to the share icon. Drop a like and bust a share. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell them sister and them brother them to check out the channel, check out the reasoning, join the discussion. Comment section up me 24/7, it never lack yet. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. But other than that, drop your thoughts, your comments, and yes, your opinions there, and we can continue the reasoning via the comment section. You know the sentiments are for those who don't. You might not move settings. And until the reason again, my sentiments for you and yours. If you know, live, love, and prosper. Stay tuned.